Otula is a fraud, and why can he look for sponsors and NBA and get a good coach for the young girls? But Kenya is weak. Our number 20 center is terrible though. Belinda, the equity lady, could have done better. Naisha lol. Kenya inashindwa lol. Who bewitched us? South Sudan should be leading by 40 points. Kenya has come to a complete standstill. Where exactly did they get the coach from Kenya from SSD? Is more serious. We got a local coach who is fake. Too much travels looks like they don't know the fundamentals of basketball. Maenga Kwani hana depth. Kenya is really terrible for real. Just silly turnovers. Who's the better team, guys? I thought it was Kenya, but I'll see it now that the SSD has the better defense. Natalie is wasted nowadays. No wonder Nderitu was having a field day with her. True. I mean, I'm going to have a field day with her today as well. Get ready. Zero basketball fundamentals. Turnovers isn't a travel. Two different things. Kenyan guards need a whole day to train with no rest. Kenya is going to lose the second game. Kenyans wapewe bangi tuju. Wakiwa sobo wanacheza matope. Lol. Heri. Tupeleke high school team. Random shooter from Kenya. Turnover. Unless Maenga is protecting Wanyama from falling out, I don't see why Belinda should be in. Natalie, with the experience, she's not doing anything positive. Bring on the young guards. Ruto must go. Jesus Christ. Why you bring Ruto must go here? Kila kitu imekuwa shida Kenya, true. I mean, people are just ripping this team apart in the comments. What Kenyan coach is playing? Poor tactics. Kenya will not win. Just 4 points and they were leading with they started. And they started feeling big. True. I mean, there's that level of arrogance that Kenya has when they're on top. What's wrong with the Kenya Lioness? Kenya has a problem with rebounding.
Some of them, you can't coach them.
I'm tired of these girls. Hope y'all can play ball someday. Fake comeback. We're just good at athletics and that's it. Savage. Kenyan girls are playing rugby. Jesus Christ. My Kenyan sisters can't ball. They've turned it into netball. Kenya can't win. A century against Egypt is guaranteed. This band KBF. Victoria leading in turnovers. South Sudan is making history again. Nani alichagua hii team ya Kenya walai. Jesus Christ. For just look at the trash cans, man, and the thumbs down. We are getting we're getting colonized. Give us USA. These Kenyans are nothing. Kenyan loser. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, next trip was Sibebe Mashosho. Please, Natalie Abaki too. Sasa. My God. So I made this post on my Instagram and I said, I looked at the South Sudanese roster. I said, we don't stand a chance here to Tapigwa. And it's true. We got beat by about 20 points. Kenya, mnafanyile kitu. Very poor defense from Liz. True. Can't defend, can't shoot threes. Guys, this Kenyan team with Rice. My God, I can't. Kenya will continue losing until they give young players opportunities to showcase their talent. All can't beat young. That's why SSD is cooking us. KPA players wote huku ni mauzo. With all the turnovers, Kenya still in the game. So bad skill, Kenya. Oh my God. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So those are among the comments that I saw when I was watching the game live. And in this video, I am going to go ahead and go all in on this team. And I'm going to start off by apologizing to Kenyans again. The Kenya basketball fraternity and the Kenyans who are watching this game and they came across this game from Fiba. I apologize on behalf of the team Lioness for their poor play. And right now, we are seeing a situation where they are refusing accountability. So I went ahead and watched the post-game press conference that the team Lioness was in. And you could see they just did not want to speak and they didn't want to own up to things. But you all know in this channel, I got you guys. We're going to look at this game in depth. Statistically, we're going to look at everything. Things that don't get mentioned too much. And that's what we're doing. So this game started off pretty respectable from the Kenya Lioness side. And I must say, they had a strong start because they won the first quarter 19-14. And at some point, I felt like, hey, you know what? Kenya can be able to bring it to South Sudan. I don't know why I felt fooled into thinking that the team could be able to get it right. And they were able to right their wrongs because based on how they started, it looks like they tried to change up a few things, but they just had some lucky shots here and there. And that's where it started and that's where it ended. Because from the second to the fourth quarter, it was utter domination. And Kenya dug themselves in a hole, a very huge one, in the second quarter. And that's where they got outscored by 13 points. South Sudan led that quarter with 24, and the third 23, and the fourth quarter with 25. I saw Kenya try to have a valiant effort of clawing back in the fourth, but it was too little too late. And majority of the time, it was foul and free throws. I can say this game was very long. It was like 2 hours, 30 minutes, and majority of the time, it was just foul and free throws. Both teams were sending each other to the line. It was a very unconventional game, and it's not a game that you can say like people followed the book. It was just a scrappy, grit and grind game. I can't class it as a game that had a lot of strategy in it, because it was about who is going to be able to get that win, regardless of what means you use. So, as per recording of this video, Egypt has beaten Uganda. 65-62 is the final score, and Angola were able to get their get back on Mozambique, and 65-58 was the final score. So, moving back to the Kenya Lioness, I mean, I went through the box score and I was shocked. And before even I go there, I'm gonna go to like the game statistics. So in the first quarter, it was a game that could have gone either way, and people would have been fooled to thinking that Kenya was gonna get it done, but they couldn't. But the good thing is, at least Kenya were able to shoot decently from the field, because they shot 14% from the field, which is 20%, which is 20% more than what they did in the previous game, which was actually quite good. And they kind of took some shots, but it only happened in the first half only. But from the three ball, that's where both teams really struggled. But the difference between Kenya and South Sudan was South Sudan were attempting threes and they were making them. They were making them efficiently, and they were making them at a timely manner. Okay, they didn't shoot at that much because they shot about 29%. But looking at what Kenya did not attempt too many, and you're going to get to see why. So, in the total rebounds, Kenya got out rebounded 42-35, and the South Sudanese team just had so much size, and I can say it was overwhelming for our front court players, and they were too slow to be able to get back, because every time there was a turnover and South Sudan were bringing the ball back, you could see their athletic front court players. I mean, they were able to run the floor quickly and much more efficiently than us. And when I said that this game was very unconventional, I meant that no team was following any strategy. It was mostly run and gun offense coming from the Kenyan side and also the South Sudanese side. No set plays whatsoever. And South Sudan were able to get the upper hand, and they were able to do it. So this game, I can say it was one of the worst games I've seen in terms of possessions and taking care of the basketball. And when I saw this statistic, the turnovers, both teams had 34 turnovers apiece. So that is 68 turnovers combined. So you could see, even with both teams turning over the ball at the highest rate I've ever seen, no team was able to capitalize on anything. You see, when a team turns over the ball 21 times in one half, that meant that they were not able to take care of the basketball. That meant that they were not able to implement their plays. And we're going to get to see who were the turnover machines, because Natalie is one of the most, I can even say, inefficient, and I can even say incompetent and useless player on the team. And she contributed with 11 turnovers. And I'm going to get to her, and I'm going to land on everyone else. So don't worry, be patient. This is going to be a long video, so buckle up. Now, Team Kenya, the Team Lioness, the onus was on them to be able to make adjustments to this game. Although they were able to have a very good field goal percentage, which was not that good, it was 41% shooting from the field, they were still struggling to take care of the basketball, which was very concerning. And it was freestyle basketball at the end of the day, and from both sides. And no team was able to go ahead and have a comfortable way, or even get comfortable in scoring, facilitating, all that, because a lot of deflections were coming in. And I can say from Kenya's possessions, a lot of times the balls were getting deflected. And that's the main reason as to why the turnovers kept increasing. And both teams just they were not able to take care of the basketball, both of them. But when it came to even points from turnovers, despite both teams turning over the ball at historic rates, South Sudan were able to capitalize on points from turnovers. They had 33 points of turnovers and 21 fast break points. And that's why I mentioned like the run and gun. That's what they used majority of the time. When it came to points in the paint, both teams were looking to score inside. But the team that dominated very well, especially with the bench depth, was the South Sudanese team. So there are a couple of DNPs coming from the team Lioness side, and I must say it speaks to the mentality that the coaching staff and the management have, especially when it comes to this team. So we have our turnover sisters, and I can even call them the turnover triplets. These are the people who turned over the ball at historic rates. And let me give you an interesting statistic. This, in our turnover triplets, they turned over the ball 26 times out of the 34 turnovers that we saw on the team. They turned over the ball 26 times combined. So let's start with Victoria Reynolds. So I had a go at Victoria Reynolds yesterday. This game, she virtually played the whole game. She only had rest for like almost a minute because she played 39 total minutes. She was literally gassed out. She was not efficient, and she couldn't be able to get the job done for us. And even despite having 7 assists, she had 5 turnovers. And she forms a third of the turnover triplets. Before even I land on Natalie, because my God, there's so much to unpack when it comes to that lady. It seems to me that this team does not know how to adjust and play competitive basketball and take care of the basketball. So I said that in the previous video, and I'm going to reference it because that's when I unpacked a lot of things. The turnover bug, majority of the time, it comes from players not understanding what play they are going to run, and it all stems from the strategies and tactics that are set by the coach.
Some of them, you can't coach them.
So when you have a situation where you're bringing the ball up court and you don't even know who to give the ball to or what type of play to run, subsequently leads to these turnovers. Both the South Sudanese team and the Kenyan team suffered at that because the turnovers that were being generated by Selina Okumu came from passing the ball. It was mindless passing. And that's where the low basketball IQ kicks in because this was the most brain dead. I can't even say brain dead, but I can say these were the most boneheaded, brain dead players that we had on this roster, these 3. And it was unfortunate because these players, three of these players played north of 30 plus minutes in the game. And it was pathetic. So Victoria, 19 points, 8 of 20 shooting. She had, even with her 9 steals, she had 5 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, and 7 assists. So she couldn't even break even. And she had a plus minus of -14. Then Natalie. Oh my God.
Some of them, you can't coach them.
I feel like Natalie, she has developed a unique idea and a unique strategy of turning over the basketball. Every single time she invents ways to turn over the basketball. She's a turnover machine, one of the most low IQ individuals that we have on the team. It is unfortunate that with all that quote-unquote experience that she has, she can't be able to even do anything productive on the court. So this is a Tema video because I really, really wanted to get this point across and make sure that we all get the facts right and understand things. So Natalie, as we speak, is a player that does not even deserve to be the national team, just like I mentioned earlier. And this is a player who is virtually useless when it comes to competitive basketball. It's unfortunate that we have this player on the roster, and we had 3 of 13 shooting and 3 of 11 shooting, thinking that she can be able to shoot the 3 ball is the reason as to why we struggle. And out of her in the points that she scored, the 15 points, 6 of the points were generated from the free throw line. And she also had a double-double of her own with 11 turnovers. So it was 15 points and 11 turnovers there. And she also fouled heavily with 4 fouls. So the assist to turnover ratio is botched. And this is a player that honestly, I mean, you can trade her away, or you even can give her away for a box of peanuts at this point, because there's nothing she was giving us at all. And it's unfortunate that Coach Maenga and whatever this other coach is, Sylvia Kamau, people who are not even decorated, coaching this team and making sure that she plays heavy minutes, and listing Margaret and Ashley as DNPs. So this was very much unacceptable, honestly, and it was upsetting, to say the least. Then we have Selina Okumu. So Selina Okumu is the other a third of the turnover triplets, and she is I can say she's in the same boat as Natalie, low IQ player, and they think that hustle will overcompensate skill. And it's unfortunate that she's the team captain, because as a team captain, you have to understand that this is a player that is supposed to lead by example. She couldn't lead by example. She was one of the most useless players. She followed Natalie in turnovers with 9 turnovers, and she was overly unplayable. So Natalie was the worst player on this team in this game, and she had a negative plus minus minus 19. And when I cite these statistics, they cite the efficiency of a player. And sometimes I feel like these players are too dumb to understand the box plus minus statistic and how it works. So let me just break it down the pipe for them, so that, because I know they're listening and this is very valuable knowledge that they can carry on, because Egypt is not too far away. It's just Friday and they are going to get served cold ones by Egypt. So the box plus minus statistic, the plus minus statistic, shows you the points, assists, rebounds, steals, all those statistics, and the overall impact to the game. Even if you're able to score double digits in the game and you have a negative plus minus, that means that you're not able to break even and be efficient and impact the team with your statistics. So when I say that Natalie was a poor player and the worst overall player, even despite her going double digits, she still managed to bring this team down by turning over the ball 11 times, committing 4 personal fouls. Those ones writ off all the other statistics that she had. Even her 4 rebounds and 5 assists couldn't cut it because of how inefficiently she played. Even the 4 steals that she had, they were being written off by the fact that she was not efficient and she couldn't impact this team to wins. And also the same case for Selina, because we had 9 turnovers, just wrote off everything. She played north of 33 minutes and she couldn't produce anything in terms of offense. I don't understand the over-reliance of this player. All right. We have Belinda. So Belinda Okoth, this game, she couldn't play it at all. And the big reason why is because she was getting outclassed and outplayed. She got outclassed and outmatched yesterday against Uganda, a team that didn't look like they had the size, but they had a lot of skill. Now this South Sudanese team, the front court players are much more athletic. They can run the floor and they can body her anytime. So there's a reason as to why she was not able to play the games the way she's used to. So Belinda out there, and I must say she's adds on to like those players who are not even warranted or even supposed to play on the national team. Same thing goes to Rita and Vilma. Vilma did not play a lick of basketball at all, and she was getting beat every single time. When I was watching the games on playback, you could see they were slow. Our front court players were slow, and this all boils down to our management and the people who selected these players. These players who play at the front court position, they couldn't rebound for Kenya. They couldn't play defense for Kenya. They couldn't even be efficient rim protectors for Kenya. Then you ask yourself why Kenya cannot be able to win games. When you have such personnel, what do you expect from Belinda? Somebody who cannot be a standout player, even when she plays for a local league, she can't do anything. Rita Oluoch, hustle will never get you anywhere. Vilma, I am sorry, but your abilities could not impact the game at all. Mercy Wanyama. So Mercy, I must say, she played heavy minutes, but the main Achilles heel that she has you question her decision making when it comes to playing. She went double digits, and she was among those players that played heavy minutes. And I can say her inability to understand how to play good defense was the reason as to why she fouled. She had 4 personal fouls in the game, and it hindered her ability to even play efficient defense or even effective defense on the court. And it led to her not being able to have wiggle room to be able to play. So she still feels the mold, and I really, really question her abilities to be able to be an efficient player at the front court that can lead to wins. And also, she was not left behind with turnovers. I mean, Vilma, Rita, Belinda, they all had one turnover each. Then we had Christina Kini. So Christina Kini, I mean, she plays netball. We play basketball, but she's stuck in playing netball. I don't know what thought loop she's on, but hey, it is what it is. So Elizabeth and Jemima did virtually nothing in this game. And I'm not going to waste my energy talking about them because I've mentioned them multiple times. Jemima, she's done. She's done playing under this system, because the more she plays under this system, the more she's going to get such outings, and she's embarrassing herself and ruining her own career in the process. And the person who has ruined the chances of this team to be able to even go ahead and compete is Natalie. Natalie is very inefficient, somebody who has a very below average IQ, somebody who doesn't understand when to score, when to pass, when to facilitate. She doesn't know anything. Victoria, she was short all game. When a team catches on that you are one of their hot players and a player that it looks like they have skill, they'll zero in on you. And when teams understood that they have to just lock up and guard Victoria so hard to make sure that she can't create anything, the other team just struggles. You can't get any productivity from Natalie Mwangale. She's very low IQ. You can't get any productivity from Selena, somebody who I must say is very useless indeed. You can't get productivity from Belinda Okoth, somebody who even struggles in KBF games. Rita Oloch's hustle will not take you anywhere. It's actually unfortunate that we have some players on this team right now. Natalie, Selena, Belinda, Rita Oloch, Vilma, Mercy, you're not supposed to be in this team at all. And it's unfortunate that Margaret did not play and Ashley did not play. Why is it that this squad insists that Natalie has to play north of 36 minutes while Ashley is warming the bench? Why is it that the team could not take a swipe at Margaret, and Coach Mayenga did not have the ability to, or even the awareness to understand that we also have Margaret as an option at the front court? Why not try her? But anyway, these decisions and these questions were not asked when it came down to the post-game presser, and they tried to make it as diplomatic as possible. And they never tell you the real reason as to why this team is failing and this team is flopping. And the inability to shoot the three ball was evident. Natalie, she out of the 6 3-pointers made, 3 came from Natalie and 3 came from Victoria. And I can say Natalie is not an efficient player and is not a 3-point shooter. You can't shoot 3 of 11 and pose as a 3-point shooter. So the stock of these players is falling by the day. And I'm going to make sure that people understand and people are aware that these players are bums and they are shit players. Sorry to say, excuse my French, these are shit players who do not deserve to be in the national team and didn't even deserve to be called up. A lot of people are afraid to speak on this because they're afraid of getting cancelled. But hey, I really don't give a fuck what these people think. I'm going to make sure to tell you as it is. Victoria is not good enough. Victoria's game cannot adjust when it really matters. When she faces tough defense, she crumbles. That's the fact. She can't be able to adjust to any defense. She can't be able to manufacture a shot anywhere. Natalie, low IQ player, doesn't have the ability to do anything. Even the plays that they're being fed by the coaching staff, I don't even think she has the ability or awareness to internalize anything. She has no crossover. Like I said, can't shoot, can't defend, can't create her own shot, can't facilitate, cannot make any of other players better. And she's a bona fide turnover machine. Useless player. It's unfortunate that KP have to suffer this person for years on end. With her time playing for the national team, she's yet to improve at all. With all her the opportunities that she has been given when she plays in KPA, she plays for the team Lioness, she has turned out to be one of the most useless pieces that, it leads to us losing games. And I can even say she's 70% a major contributor to Team Kenya and Team Lioness losing, because she plays the most vital position, that's the point guard position. She doesn't have the ability to take care of the basketball, subsequently leading to turnovers. She can't be able to play good defense because she fouls. She thinks that hustle replaces skill, and she's much more of a hustle player. She can't even play anything international. Nothing international, nothing continental. The only team that can accommodate her services in this world is only KPA. And unfortunately, we have to suffer her when she plays in the national team. A player who's not even deserving to even have any appearance or even any other call-up in this national team. A lot of people in the comments were calling her out on her bad plays, and she's one of the old players that are part of the old regime that need to get out of the team. Selena, still the same thing. Old player, can't improve. Somebody who has a very low basketball IQ, similar to Natalie. She carries all the traits that Natalie has. Hustle does not get you anywhere. I want you to understand this. Without skill, you are nothing. You can't even... it was unfortunate that Christine, Mercy, Selena, Natalie, and Victoria were the starters. The starters did virtually nothing in this game. And they were the main reason as to why the team lost. Even with that trying to claw back into the game, it was just at garbage time where they were trying to cut the deficit. But the game decision was decided by South Sudan when they went and dropped the hammer in the third quarter. So Selena is very useless. I don't even understand why she's on the national team, and she should just hang it up for the national team. Belinda, I don't even know what role that you played in this game. You were supposed to be an efficient person who was supposed to rim protect and defend and make sure to set screens so that you can free up space for somebody like Victoria. But unfortunately, you lack the awareness and you lack the physicality. Rita Oloch, you lack the physicality. You lack the skill and physicality. Also, Belinda, skill and physicality. Vilma, you're too slow. And I don't even understand what type of game, what we are bringing on the court, even when you are given even the limited minutes you got. You only got 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. That's why. So, there is a lot to unpack. It is very sad that we have to suffer these players. We have people who are virtually unplayable and useless. And it's unfortunate that people have the tendency of saying and insisting that they must be on the national team. Somebody like Natalie is a scrub. Victoria Reynolds, for these 2 games, she was a bona fide scrub. I don't think even there should be any team that should even look at her services at all, because if this is what she produced for the national team, even if she produced for KPA when they played the go-rounds in the WBLA, what makes you think another team is going to look at her and say that she's somebody that they can even recruit or even bring on board? Useless. All this experience that these people keep citing, you have to mix the young and old players. Look at what the old players produced. Nothing. The younger players did not even get a shot at playing. Ashley did not play. Margaret did not play. Elizabeth did not play. They didn't play anything. You insisted that you want to rebuild the team, but you can't rebuild the team when you still have old people still on the court who do virtually nothing. Somebody like Natalie, Selena, Belinda, Rita, Vilma, Mercy. I'm sorry, Mercy, but you just don't fit in this team. I don't even understand why you're here. Some players are just a waste of roster spots, especially Natalie. I'm going to go in on Natalie because she is one of those players that it's very difficult to stand watching such a player. You can't watch somebody who turns over the ball like that. Lack of form, lack of desire, lack of the desire to improve. And the reason as to why I'm going at these old players is because they have shown time and time again that they lack the ability to go ahead and improve on their skill set. They can't improve. They have hit their ceiling already. Somebody like Natalie cannot even do a basic crossover. She looks like somebody who only has a right hand. She has no left hand. She does back downs at the perimeter, showing you clearly. Any scout who's watching her closely will tell you that this is a player that is not confident in her ball handling skills, and she can't dribble, and she can't take anyone off the dribble. And that's just about it. I mean, it's pathetic. And even if you're going to insist that you're going to have these players on the roster, KBF, I know you're listening, just know that you can keep these players, but just know that you're not going to win with bums like Natalie, Selena, Belinda, useless players, virtually useless. And I can even say the fraud label that I even gave them was warranted, because these are players that you might think that just because they play for these big teams in KBF, these are KPA Dockers, which is another team that is just full of serial losers. You think that just because they play there, they are affiliated to that organization because they play, it means that they are good. They are not good at all. The statistics show it. Their films show it. Even their own body language on the court shows it, that these are players who are virtually useless. And they are the reason as to why Kenya is falling down the rankings. The other go around in 2023, when the team Lioness went ahead and played in the qualifiers for the Afrobasket, Kenya started off strong with 3 straight games winning. This year, Kenya has lost to teams that they beat. I know 2 years is a long time where teams can go ahead and change up the way they play, but you can just see the fall from grace. You can just see the fall and the regression of this team. And you can even see the regression of these players. Somebody like Natalie, I don't even know why you still play basketball anymore. Like, you should just look for another sport. I mean, Selena, look for another sport. Basketball isn't for you. Belinda, just retire. Rita, look for another sport. Vilma, retire. Masiwanyama, I don't even know what to say anymore, because you were supposed to assist the team to be able to fix the front court problems that we have. It's abundantly clear that Belinda, Rita, and Vilma cannot do anything at the front court. So the onus was on you as the starter to assist. But what did you do? Even rebounding was a problem. Only 5 rebounds. Getting out-rebounded by South Sudan was bad, because it just showed how ineffective our front court players were. And the front court players were getting exposed left, right, and center. And it's very unfortunate that we have to move on with this crop of players. I know Kenya is going to match up with Burundi tomorrow, and they're going to have a rest day before they match up against Egypt. And these 2 games, and these 3 games, even I may say even at Burundi there, they're supposed to make sure that we are ready for in the time that we are going to match up against Egypt. We are going to have confidence in those games. Right now, the confidence is at an all-time low. And I must say, it's embarrassing at this point that a teams like Uganda, not disrespect Uganda, but team like Uganda, South Sudan took us apart. We didn't even show any competitive spirit. There was no fighting spirit, lack of form, lack of energy. Some people just need to get out of that team. These legacy players that have even been crippling even the men's team have now infected the women's team. Some players think that they are owed a call-up just because they play for a big team. And the cartels up there think that these players are good enough to play in this team. They are the reason as to why this team is shit. The team is shit because of the people who selected this team and the players themselves refusing to step up to the plate. And you're representing a national team and representing your own country. You have to understand that the onus is on you not only to showcase your skill set to the continent, but also lift the flag of your country. These are the most unpatriotic people. These are people who are very useless. These are people who have shown that they would rather disrespect the country for a paycheck. And these people, let me tell you, and I'm saying this with full confidence, these people are doing it for the money. And that's the reason as to why you can see the nonchalant attitude coming from George Mayenga. Masiwanyama came from Selena when they had that post-game presser yesterday and today. Nonchalant, they're just there to cash a check and move on. They don't care about the national team. They don't care about rankings. They don't care about anything. These players are just there to cash a check and move on. They're going there for a trip and that's it. Because how can you justify some players even being on the national team? How can you justify the minutes that you're given? If you're given those minutes by the coach and you go ahead and have an inefficient dart game, what is the objective? You're just going there to just look like you played so that you can go get that traveling allowance in per diem, and you come back to Kenya and act as if nothing is happening. Nothing happened. That is the problem that is hurting us right now, because there are long-term effects that are caused by such performances. And I think these performances get swept under the rug after the tournament ends, because the stupidity that is with these players and the stupidity that is with the coaching staff and the federation think that this tournament has ended, let's move on to the next one. This mentality has to stop, because these games overall affect our rankings. Because if you finish outside the top 12, you're not ranked. And other teams, when they play classification games and they rank, they move positions up. When they move up on positions, we move down levels. And that's the reason as to why our men's team is going down and our women's team is going down. So these players are doing it for the money. They don't care if we win or lose. They have no passion. They have no desire. They have no fighting spirit. I just want people to understand that these players are shit players. These are players who think that they are good. And the reason as to why I say that they are frauds, a fraud is somebody who purports to be good at something yet they are not. Natalie is not a basketball player. She should just look for another sport. Selena, just retire immediately. Belinda, I don't even understand or even know what you're doing in the national team. You just put there just to fill up a roster spot that was in need. Because looking at how things were at the time, the team Lioness was scrambling to get people to fill that position, but they couldn't. So they just resorted to getting you there. Rita Oloch, I don't even understand why you're there. You virtually can't help. You couldn't even match up in any way in that front court, against that front court, or even defend against South Sudan. Even yesterday, that's the same thing you did. Vilma, you did the same thing. And I'm going on these players because these players played more minutes than even the young players that were there. You can see Ashley did not play listed as the NP. Margaret did not play. Christina Kinyi plays netball and we're in a basketball game. Elizabeth Okumo didn't do anything that she couldn't even impact the game because it's always in and out. So it's frustrating. It is upsetting that a lot of people are seeing all this and they are quiet. And it's being taken as the norm. And this is not normal. And this is the reason as to why Kenya is regressing when it comes to basketball. The coaching staff and the players don't have the awareness to know what to improve on. The coaching staff is not being honest to these players. Even the coaching staff for their respective clubs is not honest to these players and tell them, hey, look, you are shit. Go improve on this. You're not aware enough to tell them that. Somebody like Victoria, you lack the fighting spirit. You have the skill, but you can't be able to adjust to the defense. You don't have the IQ that allows you to be a star player that can adjust to any defense that is thrown at you. That's the difference between a good player and a great player. So to be a great player, you have to understand whatever defense is being thrown at you, you have to understand how to adjust. And if your game is pegged upon you scoring, you have to understand how do you adjust when you're going against people who are guarding you heavily. So that's one thing that you don't understand. And that's the reason as to why you're falling back. That's the reason as to why you're falling back in terms of efficiency in the game. Natalie, a lot of people have not been telling you the truth, but you're a very low IQ, useless player. And I don't even understand why you're still in this team. And I don't even understand your leadership, because if you saw that you have a bad game, why not just say, hey, look, just have Ashley come in and let's see how she can do it, and let's see how she can mix it up. Because the moment that Kenya gets beat from pillar to post, they revert to factory settings. When they revert to factory settings, that means that they will just use the players that they think are good. So they will not even give minutes to players like Ashley or even Margaret there. They won't get any minutes. And I'm not saying that they're going to impact the game or the score will be different, but at least we'll have seen what they could actually do, even despite if it was a win or loss. This is not a rebuild. The team has these players, Victoria, Natalie, Selena, Belinda, Rita, Vilma, and Masiwanyama, to compete. And if this is this is the performance that they are bringing in, that means that they are not fit enough to compete, and they're just basically wasting our time. And it shows you how stupid the Kenya Basketball Federation are, setting up these players, having a fake coach in George Mayenga, who's also a fraud, and also having Sylvia Kamau there. People who are useless, virtually useless. They don't have any game plan. They don't have an identity, nothing. Then you expect them to win. I mean, you can't win it. So I know this has been a long one, and I am very frustrated with how things are right now, because even if we beat Burundi, because Burundi has been was a doormat to Egypt yesterday, and Kenya is going to make quick work of them, which I'm not sure is going to happen. Maybe they're going to come and switch up on us, but based on how Burundi played yesterday against Egypt, it was a whitewash. So let's say you're going to win tomorrow and Egypt was waiting for you. When these losses accumulate, and these two losses, there are more of 20 plus points, we're going to fall on the point differentials, and you're not even going to make it to the finals or even the third or fourth place position, setting us away from even receiving a potential wild card, and you're going to be back to where we were the other time. So are you people happy? Was it worth it? Was it really worth it? Going out there, playing for the money, embarrassing your own country. This list of players, all these players who played heavy minutes are not patriots. These are people who are selling out for a check. That's it. It's all about the money. They're doing it for the money, just as I mentioned, and they're just doing it for a free trip and per diem. That's it. They don't care about winning. They don't care about efficiency. I mean, a player like Natalie is so dumb, she can't even understand what plus minus is. When she saw this, does she even know how to read it? If anyone in the comment section who knows her, ask her if she knows how to read the stat sheet. I've put even the statistics on the screen so that people can be able to see the failure in which she is. Also, same case to Selena, a failure, a bona fide failure. People who cannot play for any other team outside KPA on the national team. Their skills are not portable enough to fit in anywhere else. And that's the reason as why they have a shallow mindset and they bring their KBF mentality here, thinking that it's going to work. The South Sudanese team, they're not Swish, they're not Eagle Wings, they're not Stanby Cases, they're not that. They're a national team that is filled with players who play around the globe. There is no world-class player in the team. None. No player plays for the WNBA. No player plays for any women's league in Europe. No, none of them. And the local mentality has seeped in, and they think that they can just get physical with any team the way they've been getting physical with KBF. With KBF teams, they think they can get away with it. No. I mean, you're going to get slapped back to reality. And they're getting it brutally. And they're getting brutalized. And they're going to learn the hard way. So, I mean, I could go on and on, but it is what it is. I mean the team is shit. It's a pathetic performance. And these fucking players are the reason as to why we fall down the rankings every single time. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, do drop me your comments down in the comment section what you think. I know this video has passed the 45-minute mark. I rarely make long videos like this for me just talking. But hey, I appreciate the love in the other video. I know that video was equally as long, but hey, it is what it is. So, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Well, it's the second day, and we started well compared to yesterday's game. We started so well, but third quarter, when we had too many fouls and the rest, we took our opponents to the line over a few turnovers and fouls, and they were also good on the line. The box out, we didn't do much. They over-rebounded us, and that is why the game was lost.
Mercy, from you, your thoughts and what you do to recover from this match going into your game day 3.
As coach has said all, we started well. Unfortunate, we made some few mistakes, and we paid for them. So all I can say is we'll still go back to the drawing board and keep on making correction, and keep on working.
Coach, maybe my last question, what are some of the changes you make to make sure that you win your first game tomorrow?
Not so much today because it's the same team and we just had to give other players some roles to play, of which they did well. I cannot complain. But going to our finishing and our way of playing, that's what really got us out on the line.
Okay.
Today, like, we were just poor, you understand? The defending is non-existent. The defending is there's no defense, fam. It's just a fence. There's no D, blood. It's a fence, bro. You can literally jump it. You see how you jump over a fence? That's our defense, bro. It's a fence, fam. There's no D.
So you've got to call him out today. Not good enough.
Who else?
Fucking the whole team. The rest, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Make him walk home. Seriously, I'd take him to the train station, drop him off, and say, go on, off you go, find your own way home. Piss off. Why should you give them comforts? No, they need harsh reality. A lot of them, they need a harsh reality. But half of them look tired. Half of them don't look like they want to be there. Half of the other players that look like they want to be there and we know that they're players we can build around, know that the rest of them are shit. There's too many players in there that are part of the old regime, that are bottle jobs. Bunch of fucking bottle jobs. What more do you want me to say about it? It's a fucking farce today. Absolutely shocking fucking performance all round. And they better fucking fix up for fucking Wednesday. End of story.